This is the Snake 2 and this is the Space 2 from Henry's Music. Two guitars at a really good price. And in this video I want to find out if they are worth what they cost and even if they can exceed my expectations of what you usually get in this price range. First I want to show you how they sound when you play a rock and roll song with them, and then we will take a deep dive into these two guitar instruments. See you. Both guitars come with a gig bag, strap locks and hex keys for adjusting the guitars. You get a tremolo arm with the Snake, obviously. You also get an envelope with a card inside. Scan the QR code on that card and you will find out that Henry's Music planted a new tree for you. Like, you know, a part of a tree went into making this guitar, so they planted a new one for you. Nice. Straight out of the box, these guitars are really well set up. That is done by a luthier, and I will get back to that a bit later on because that is really important. And here are the most important specs. Both guitar bodies are made of panolia and the guitars are really light. I don't think I've played guitars as feather light as these two before. The Snake is 2.96 kilos and the Space is 2.8 kilos. Neck material is roasted maple with rosewood fretboards. You have 22 frets on both guitars, lock-in tuners on both, and a 13.78 inch fretboard radius on both. Space has super twang pickups and the Snake has snakebite pickups, HSS configuration, and the humbucker is of course splittable. Splittable. Like this. And yeah, honestly, I'm scared to death by HSS guitars, so we will see how this goes. The Snake that I have is Relic, but you can also get it without a Relic job. Like the Space, this one is not Relic, but you can get a Relic job on this one too. And if you want to know more specs, please use the links down below, because now it's time to hear these guitars. I'm using a Shotmaker Songstress amp. Sometimes I'm using a Brothers AM overdrive and a Crazy Tube Circuits Triptychon Fuzz. Yeah. Ever since trying these two guitars for the first time, I've been really impressed. And as mentioned, they felt great on arrival, and I think it's pretty obvious, to me at least, that a lot of the success of Henry's music comes from their quality control. The company is based in the Czech Republic. The guitars are made in China, but they are inspected by Henry's. Not sure where they do this necessarily. But I play a lot of guitars made in Asia. I also play a lot of guitars made in the US. You get good guitars from both places and you get bad guitars from both places. The ones that are good, no matter the country of origin, are usually great because of the quality control. Of course, you need to build a decent guitar at first, but quality control is so important, and setup. So that is key here, and I really hope that Henry's will keep doing this and not skip this step at a point to save money. We've seen that with other brands before, and it's a typical startup thing to do. You have great products at a low price, and as soon as you have a good reputation, the big bosses wants to save money and you get a worse product. And I don't suspect that Henry's will do that at a time, but I'm just saying because it's a thing that we've seen earlier. Both guitars play really well and they sound really good. I'm stoked to play a S-type guitar with a different type of pickup set in it that isn't too vintage spec like this one, which is a good guitar, but there's very little output. There's a bit more bite in the Snake too. And yes, there's a humbucker in it. How did that work for me? Pretty darn good, I would say. I was afraid that the humbucker was sounding too different from the other pickups in the guitar and too different from how that position sounds in single coil mode. Like you go from a Strat sound to a Les Paul sound, but the guitar still sounds like the guitar it is, and it's almost just like a subtle boost when you kick in the humbucker. Maybe not subtle, but like a boost. There's more output and it rounds off the sound a bit. But when you play lightly, it still has that ceramic chime in the top end. So it, yeah, sounds really good, that humbucker. Sound-wise, HSS, that works for me. Aesthetically, I struggle a tiny bit with it still. I'm probably just extremely traditional with guitars. Yeah, this is just personal preference, and luckily you can get the exact same guitar with a SSS configuration if you want to do that. And I think still that I would go for the HSS option on this guitar because I'm set with this as my SSS guitar, so I need something else in my guitar arsenal. And this space sounds awesome too. I wouldn't change a thing on it. Again, it's so lightweight. I love that. The Relic job on the Snake is maybe a bit too much for me, but you have the option to go non-Relic if you want that instead. And I've had to adjust the truss rod on the Snake after I got it, which is not down to a bad setup on their end, but most people, they live in a different climate from where the guitar was made or set up the last time, so things will most likely happen to it. And I was so glad that I could adjust the truss rod from here and not do it the traditional Strat way, where you are forced to remove the neck. That is so annoying. Yeah. Also, the fingerboard radius is a bit unusual to me on both guitars. I think they chose that to give it a more modern feel, and I do think it's the right choice. But I'm just so used to 7.25 and 9.5, so it just takes a little getting used to, especially when soloing. And there are many guitars on the market right now, and I'm not sure exactly what we can compare these to. They cost more than the most expensive Harley Bentons that I've tried, and I will say that these are better. And the rep that I talked to at Henry's compared them to the Fender Player 2 series, which are a couple of €100 more than these, probably a couple of $100 as well. I have not played those yet, but I can say that the quality control of the last few Fenders that I've played, yeah. So I can definitely say that these two guitars easily outperforms what you pay for them. So my assumption is that you will both save money and get a better instrument compared to going with the big brand name in this case. And I do have to say that with a tiny bit of reservation since I haven't played the latest ones. So keep that in mind. Either way, these guitars are freaking great. No matter if you are a beginner, intermediate, or pro player, you can all use these guitars because they are good and they are on the cheaper side. Thank you for watching. Links down below if you want to check them out, and goodbye.